This is the small town of Coonabarabran, located in the Northwest Slopes region of New South Wales. Last week, a grandmother allegedly murdered her two young grandsons, aged 6 and 7. The ABC reported, woman charged with murder of her two grandsons in Coonabarabran. This is, without question, a terrible crime. My condolences go out to their family and community. But I won't beat around the bush. While the ABC stated the facts, as expected from a neutral and impartial public broadcaster, one thing was noticeably absent: any mention of gendered violence. Had the roles been reversed, with a man murdering two young girls, you can bet the ABC would have highlighted the issue of gender-based violence. This isn't mere speculation. The ABC has a well-documented history of doing exactly that. For example, last month, the murder of 19-year-old Audrey Griffin at the hands of a man led the ABC to report hundreds protest gendered violence after death of Audrey Griffin in Central Coast, violence against women. It was a terrible crime, but the ABC's coverage specifically emphasised the gender of both the perpetrator and the victim. This isn't an isolated case, it's part of a broader trend. Just this past weekend, headlines read, protesters across country demand end to violence against women during What Were You Wearing rallies. SBS joined in, reporting, Stop killing us. Nationwide protests call for action on gendered and sexual violence. And back to the ABC, when a few election signs were defaced, they reported, violent vandalism targets women. The female candidates targeted say they believe the vandalism may be about their gender. I'm sorry, but that's not evidence. They're acting as if signs of male candidates are never vandalised, and when they are, it's certainly not categorised as gendered violence. Other ABC reports included radio silence from major parties over domestic violence crisis, violence against women, gender-based violence. Are our boys okay? Fighting online misogyny, hateful messages about women. Well, I'm sorry, ABC, but in consistently framing the narrative this way, you are propagating hateful messages about men. You're teaching young Australian women that so-called gendered violence only occurs against women. It's sexist, and it needs to be called out as such. Interestingly, the ABC recently reported on terrible crimes occurring within childcare centres in Australia, where a woman was seen slapping a baby in the face repeatedly. The report, titled Video Shows Childcare Worker Hitting Baby and Laughing About It at Affinity Education Centre, showed the shocking footage. Did they call out gendered violence in childcare centres? No. In fact, the article doesn't even mention the gender of the workers, even though they are obviously all female. One image even showed a female staff member forcefully grabbing a child's wrist, dragging them backwards, and causing a dislocated elbow requiring medical attention. Again, the ABC avoided mentioning gender, instead referring to the perpetrator as an educator. And that's fine. It's unnecessary to bring gender into it. But the problem is, when a male commits a crime, especially against a female, their approach changes. They push a gendered narrative, creating a double standard that teaches young boys that something is inherently wrong with them, while presenting girls as perpetual victims. It's a lie, a pernicious lie. By taking this stance, the ABC is breeding division in society rather than fixing anything. Can't they just report the facts, as they did with the grandmother murdering her grandsons? There's no need to label every crime as gendered violence. Just say violence is bad. End of story. Yes, stand up against violence, but framing it as a gender issue only divides society instead of solving anything. I've one piece of advice for the ABC and society at large. Stop it. Stop this horrible double standard when it comes to gender and violence. Just stop it.